Despite being written in 1938, Outwitting the Devil by the author known as the maker of Millionaires, Napoleon Hill, was only published in 2011. This was due to its controversial title and its critique of schools and churches. The book is structured as if Hill, Mr. Earthbound, is interviewing the devil himself, with an engaging Q&A structure. While the devil might be viewed from a Christian perspective, it's more pragmatic to consider the devil as the darkness within us, like the anxieties and doubts that discourage us from utilizing our full potential. Here are the top 7 lessons from Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Lesson 1. Know that we all have fears. Whether they were introduced by the teachings of others or by our own self-doubt, each and every one of us has our own devil to outwit. But we shouldn't let that devil win. No matter what struggle we face, no matter what desolate circumstances characterize our situation, we are gifted with the ability to be self-determining, and we can choose the habits and thoughts we allow to control our lives. Lesson 2. Realize that fear over faith causes failure. Fear is instilled and institutionalized in people from an early age by organizations we associate with authority and having power. Like in the case of churches where children are taught to fear the devil and live conservative lives so as not to displease God. Schools likewise instill fear by teaching students to define their intelligence and self-worth through memorizing a series of facts and formulas. Because children are afraid of not measuring up to their teachers' standards or of being labeled wrong and stupid, they come to fear giving the wrong answer. This too inhibits learning and future growth, for Hill argues that education should exist to facilitate knowledge and exploration rather than depositing a load of formulas in students' heads. Lesson 3. Learn how to get what you want out of your life. Do you know what you want from your life? Do you want to be happy, successful, famous? Most of us have aspirations very similar to these, but the problem is that they are all very generic. Be happy could imply everything and nothing. Nowhere in this goal do we find any actionable steps, which could lead us to that end goal of being happy. However, if you know what you want in life, or the thing which would bring you the most fulfillment, you can formulate a series of realistic steps you can take to accomplish your goal. Hill theorized that being specific makes all the difference in success. Because he had a highly specific goal in mind, and that is to invent a new school of thought and write a book outlining his findings. Knowing what he wanted specifically enabled Hill to clearly identify the steps he needed to take to accomplish it. Lesson 4. Understand that you are what you do. You've probably heard the saying, you are what you eat, but what about the choices you make? What about the people with whom we hang out with? We often fail to take into account the full impact of our choices, and yet every choice we make, we're writing both our present and our future. While it's always true that regardless of what bad choices we make, if we choose to, we can reclaim our lives and start again. For better or worse, the choices we make have an indisputable impact on the people we become. That is especially true when our choices become habits, because after all, a habit is the only distinction between someone who tried recreational drugs once and someone whose life is dictated by their next fix. Lesson 5. Consider the impact of the people you surround yourself with. The people with whom we surround ourselves have a significant impact. We may not think that much about our friends' influence on our lives, but just take a look at the people you spend most of your time with, and think about how your life has changed as a result. Are your habits healthier now because one of your friends encouraged you to improve in some way? Or do you find yourself being dragged down by the toxic habits and attitudes of your friends? Or do you find yourself having unhealthy habits as a result of peer pressure? Then it might be time to reevaluate your circle of friends. Lesson 6. Know that successful people learn from their failure. When we open ourselves up to failure and learn to handle rejection well, we gain access to the opportunity to learn from our mistakes and grow into the most successful version of ourselves. That's what Thomas Edison did in his time, and now he's celebrated as the brilliant inventor of the phonograph, the light bulb, and a wide array of other inventions that revolutionized the future of technology that we enjoy today. Edison went through dozens of failures before he managed to generate a successful prototype for his inventions. So if he had so many failed attempts, why do we still think he's so clever? Hill suggests that it's because he had a great idea that he never gave up on. There might have been a smarter inventor before him or during his time who could have done it just as well, but maybe that person gave up. However, because Edison persisted in the face of innumerable setbacks, he became universally admired. Lesson 7. Remember that failure helps us grow. Any failure you ever experience could be the seed that will eventually grow into your success. Although it might seem really bad at the time, you have no idea what could blossom from that temporary setback. In conclusion, according to Hill, at least 98% of us are governed by fear. He argues that success and freedom are just around the corner, provided we are imaginative enough to get to know ourselves and the world around us. By having conversations with ourselves, we can unblock a greater sense of purpose. Do you have what it takes to outwit the devil? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my new content. You can also get a free copy of the audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.